Hi, my name's Nav, and I wanted to share with you um, kind of my favorite corner of my native plant garden. Uh, Real quick, I've been into native plants for the last maybe 2.5 years, and I'm not 100% native. Just slow transitioning to native plants. Anyways, so this is kind of post peak bloom, so it's not really the best time to be showing you this, but I like this corner of the yard specifically because there's just a lot going on. So here we have what's called long stem buckwheat, or Eriogonum elongatum, and it's this long, thin, wiry plant that's native to California, and its peak bloom is in late summer when the heat blasting California sun is just hitting where so many other plants can't survive. This plant specifically, you can see, doesn't have a ton of leaves because it gets so much sun. It can just photosynthesize through its stem, which you see is green, and it's got a few leaves at the base as well. I can't even see it from here, but I promise you there's some leaves at the base. And it's got these delicate little flowers you can see here. It's got these delicate little flowers that are real attractive to, oh, look at this, there's all sorts of little insects that love this plant. Since we're kind of at the end of its peak bloom, some of its flowers are starting to turn brown, you can see. And then in the winter time, birds eat these seeds, as well as many other little creatures. And it's just a pretty cool plant. If you try to plant this somewhere where the sun's not as strong, it would die because it wouldn't get enough sunlight. And evolutionarily, it thrives at a time when so many other plants can't. What else? Okay, this is cliff aster, and the blooms are starting to close for today. But you can see them in there. Each flower blooms just for one day, and then it closes. And once it's pollinated, it has these little dandelion like seeds that are propagated by wind, as you can see. So that's pretty cool. It's called cliff aster. I think it's like the Latin name, scientific name starts with an M. Matrothropix something or other. Anyways, one of my favorite things about this plant is it just blooms and blooms and blooms. It blooms from early spring through fall, where so many other plants just don't bloom for that long. It also, you can see, doesn't have a ton of leaves. It thrives in summer. You can see the stalks of it back there. These 3 stalks are that plant. You know, in our garden, it's kind of hanging over the rest of the plants. Yeah, I think other common names of this go by cliff dandelion or desert dandelion, something like that. Desert dandelion, I think. And then here is a sage, a native sage called purple sage, or Salvia lucifila, I believe. And it bloomed back in May. And in the summertime, it was looking pretty scraggly, but now in the fall, it's starting to grow new leaves, and you can kind of see how the new leaves grow. You know, these two come up like this, then they stretch out. There's a lot of different sages in California. This smells really good. The leaves smell really good. Native insects love them. Here's the seed pods. They also smell really good. This is in the same family as white sage, which you may have heard about. It's got this real aromatic smell to it, and you can I guess you can burn it like white sage, but there's a you shouldn't do that really unless you grow it in your yard. Speaking of sages, so that's white sage. There's 3 main sages that grow around California. Here's the other sage, which is black sage. Here it also has a bunch of new growth. Its leaves are a little darker green than the other purple sage. Its flowers are less showy. Oh yeah, the purple sage's flowers are, well, purple. But these black sage, the flowers are white. And it also has a very good smell. Really strong smell. But it's probably the most common sage around Los Angeles. But it's not, the flowers aren't as showy as the other ones. So here's the other one. This is white sage. Many of you have heard of white sage. This grows native to our area and really is a localized native that's in, it's being poached, you know, to sell on Amazon all around the globe because people want to burn sage. And as a result, people come in and just rip it out of the land, and then there's none left. And, you know, this plant might not be around in 20, 30 years. But, you know, if you, I think it's the white sage that people burn, yeah, for everything. When you hear people saging a room, when you hear that people sage a room, this is what it is. And there's a whole documentary I can link to, where, yeah, just don't tear this out of the native land. If you want to have a relationship with it, grow it from seed, plant it in your yard and use it sparingly. I planted this maybe a year ago. It's just starting to get, yeah, like in the fall time it has new growth. In the summer it looks a little scraggly. Blooms in the spring. This one has white flowers, and in the springtime, towards May, June, it will send out this giant stalk of white flowers, which is really beautiful. And that's white sage. Yeah, there's other sages too. There's this one, hummingbird sage, that grows really well in the shade. It also smells really good. It's kind of, I'd say I put it in a different class than the other sages. It's not as widespread. It's more in the coastal areas. I'm in Santa Clarita, northern LA County, and it's a little dry for it here. What else? Here's the sunflower, native sunflower, which is the same. The sunflowers you see in the store, these are technically the same species, but the ones that are cultivated are usually like, you know, some cultivar, like almost like a dog breed, like it's been bred for certain features. But this is how it looks like in the wild, which is really pretty. The goldfinches come down and eat the seeds. Let's see. Oh, and then there's one other plant. Well, a couple other plants over here I wanted to show you. This is Stephanomeria. It's a type of Stephanomeria called wire lettuce. And just like the long-stem buckwheat, it grows and flowers in the summer. The blasting heat of summer. Here's the seeds. And it's called wire lettuce because it's just like it's like a wire. Again, no leaves. Very little leaves. Just a wiry look, you know. One set of flowers will bloom, closes the next day, the next one blooms, and then the next one closes, and then yeah, the seeds look like this. It's an annual, so its life cycle is just 1 year before it goes to seed and it dies. But a really good source of you know, late summer nectar for butterflies and other things that are looking for flowers in the summer, but so much has died back from the spring. And this is California goldenrod. Goldenrod, Solidago ventilosa californica, something like that. Usually has really bright yellow flowers. There's a little one left here. Actually, you can see way back there. It usually looks more like that. Quality's not gonna work out for me, but you can kind of see. There it is. Has bright yellow flowers. These are kind of post-bloom, dropping their seed. But great fall nectar plant. Grows locally around here. Yeah. And then here's this little thing that's real hidden, also very wiry. It's called, well, deerweed is the name, but I'm trying to get the name changed to deer plant because of the negative connotation of the word weed. But you won't really notice this plant until the spring when it has yellow flowers, and all the native bees of the area will be going nuts for it. Kind of goes dormant in the summertime. Yeah, so that's some of the plants. Here's another one. This is called California Everlasting, California Cudweed, pseudo something something is the Latin name. It smells like maple syrup, and if you go hiking in Southern California, you smell maple syrup. It is this plant. I think it's a biennial, so it grows. Its life cycle is a couple of years. I think we're kind of going into its second year soon, so in the springtime it'll grow flowers that smell really good, very subtle looking, and they dry out and make a beautiful dried flower. And this other one is also in the same family. It's also an everlasting, and it smells more like, has more of an orange smell to it. It smells like orange, like orange cleaning solution, in a good way, not a bad way. Forgetting the name of it right now. It's also an everlasting. I'll put the name somewhere, but also local native. This is California primrose. Sorry, tall evening primrose. And then it has these really beautiful yellow flowers that bloom at night, so it's daytime. It's too late. But yeah, these are moth pollinated. And then it goes to seed. It has these brown seeds that have been torn apart by the birds. Beautiful plant. Okay, I'm almost done. Why is it not focusing? Okay. I'm growing some native plants from seed here. There's a mountain mahogany. These are like these little cool trees that have these very wiry, feathery seeds. I think this sage is a hybrid of white and purple sage. See, it's kind of got features of both. It's kind of pale, but the leaves aren't as smooth as straight white sage. They can't hybridize with each other. These are oak trees that I should have planted a long time ago. Coast live oak. I don't know. I think these are Dudleas, lance leaf Dudlea. These are also frequently poached. Beautiful plant. Honestly, I don't remember what all I planted here. I planted a bunch of stuff. But it's all growing. I think this is a willow tree, which I think it's a arroyo willow, which hosts more butterflies. It's a plant that hosts more butterflies than any other native plant in California. And it likes to grow along our stream beds. Oh, my ankles are being eaten alive by mosquitoes. This is coffeeberry. I should have also planted this in the ground long ago. You can see one coffeeberry. This is the plant's very first coffeeberry. It's got real subtle blooms, you can see. Evergreen leaves, which is very special. This is a yucca. You've probably seen these growing around. Pollinated only by the yucca moth, which if you have none of these plants, none of these plants, you would not have yucca moths. If you had no yucca moths, you'd have none of those plants. Oh, okay, all right, it's time for me to be done.